on the ground with South African police as they raid a slum where gold is being illegally processed by men they call the Zama Zama. What are you looking for here?
Explosives.
Those employed at legal mines tell us that the criminal gangs who control the Zama Zama make them fear for their lives.
Maybe somehow or other day you'll find me shot and dead.
While the government says it's winning what it calls a war.
It's neighboring countries attacking our economy.
We see a disused mine, which is claimed is poisoning those who live nearby.
The DNA codes can get scrambled, and when they have babies, the babies are going to come out deformed.
And we go inside the squalid corner of another shanty town, what's called a township, and which is a place the Zama Zama call home, and where we're told that if we didn't have a guide, we might be badly hurt, or worse. There is an overwhelming stench in here, probably of rotting vegetation, but who knows what else. There are maybe, they say, 45,000 people in this area, many of them from neighbouring countries, brought here with the promise of jobs that will eventually take them underground, and jobs from which they can perhaps never escape. Welcome to Beyond Borders. It's a bright autumn morning, and there's a festival feel at this May Day Union meeting in Sharpeville, the town south of Johannesburg, where in 1960 police shot and killed 69 people protesting about apartheid. The field is fenced off. Police are there in numbers. Miners say they're terrified of the gangs controlling thousands of mostly migrant workers from neighbouring African countries. They're said to be costing the South African economy as much as $3.25 billion a year in lost gold, 10% of the total.
I don't want to intervene, I don't want to interfere on things with Zama Zamas because it's very dangerous. I'm deciding to look at my job and then knock off. We lost colleagues, we lost friends due to Zama Zamas because they make deals. Sometimes they feel like caught in between, not taking money or else losing their job.
They're no longer hiding now. You will find them sitting there, feel like that they are enjoying. Even now, I feel that I'm threatened because if you can just publicize, they will see, oh, this boy. So maybe somehow or other day you'll find me shot and dead.
On stage at the event is the Minister for Mines, Gwede Mantashe, and we'll hear from him later. He says the Zama Zama and their controllers, known as kingpins, are being scared off. Zama Zama can spend months underground, and hundreds were trapped at the end of 2024 down a 2-kilometre deep shaft near Stilfontein, when police moved in and food and water supplies were cut off. Police were eventually ordered by a court to start rescue operations, but 78 bodies were found. Authorities claim they died because there was little air and that 14 AK-47 assault rifles were found nearby.
Look, how many days must you live in a situation like this?
One criminal leader being hunted is a Lesotho national known as Tiger, who's accused of running operations at the abandoned shaft. An investigation's been launched into whether police helped him to escape. Those still guarding the site were polite but wouldn't let us in.
You're not going to arrest me, are you?
I won't arrest you. I won't hesitate.
Okay, we're going to go.
We appreciate the
Thank you. The closure of the shaft was part of Operation Vala Umgodi, Zulu for close the hole.
It
has been successful. You can hear from the communities where it was rife, where communities were under siege by illegal miners, that today, majority of those that we have engaged and interacted with, they can sleep at night.
In a long and sometimes confusing interview, the police figure for arrests during Operation Vala Gwede is first given at close to 200,000, but then revised to about 20,000. The Lieutenant General denies that her officers refused to allow food and water into the Stilfontein shaft, saying that they had merely scared away the illegal suppliers of supplies.
The police was not preventing the rescue operation. I think the facts that needs to be corrected and clarified is that the police were doing policing, meaning you cannot just stand there when you see a person having a whole truck of food going in the hole. Where is it going?
It's going to people because they're starving.
Which people?
The miners underground, they're starving. They have no water, they have no food.
Which miners? Which miners? Because an operation that is illegal cannot be classified as a miner.
And we're told that illegal miners who say police have taken bribes for allowing them to continue going underground should come to the surface and make those claims official.
And we are always saying, if you have such claim, come forward. Tell us as authorities so that we can take steps.
But they're not going to come forward because you'll arrest them for being illegal miners.
They must be arrested.
Well, then they're not going to come forward and tell you.
But then it's a baseless allegations that we are giving to the police, or the police are asking for the money. Who is this person that is it? Because everything, you know, David, there must be evidence. In order for me to arrest David, somebody needs to come either anonymously or otherwise and say, David is doing this. Then we'll put up a trap. There are many policy methodologies.
But you see why they won't
put.
come forward, because they would be arrested and deported.
They must be arrested if they are committing crime.
Very close to Stilfontein are those who call themselves artisanal miners, South Africans who scrape a living on the surface by breaking down the sandy earth to a watery sludge, which may or may not give up flecks of gold. The mercury they use in the washing process can permanently damage eyes, lungs, and the brain.
In our organization, most of the men, they would be helping us on finalizing, they call it mushikish. He's gonna check it. Then they would be helping us because they know that it's not healthy at all for women. So they'll be taking the risk.
This is where they'll find the gold after the soil's been washed. That is, if they find any, and if they do, it won't make them very much money at all. But others around here are getting very rich, and they're using guns and intimidation. We're told about the ringleaders, the criminal syndicates, and why South Africans try to steer clear of the Zama Zama.
They don't target the surface, the criminal gangs. They go underground where they can make bricks of gold, because there is still rich.
But what about you? You say you feel if you said the wrong thing or did the wrong thing.
Yeah.
What would they do to you?
They will victimize me. They will terrorize me and my family, and even the friends, everyone.
When you say victimize, terrorize, you mean?
Come kill me. They will come kill me. They can even come here and mark these guys whatever they have worked on, and then take whatever they have worked on, or even forcing them to work the whole day, pointing them with the guns.
Sean says he and others doing this work should be treated differently by authorities to the Zama Zama and given permits, but that they're still regarded as criminals. There are as many as 6,000 abandoned shafts across the country, and mines that have closed pose a threat not only to the economy and dangers to those who exploit them, but also, we're told here, to the health of those living nearby. We're in a suburb of Johannesburg known as Snake Park, as water is tested for toxins, water that livestock will drink, livestock that are part of the food chain. It's in the township Soweto.
Okay, you see 109 times 10.
So 1,090,
1,090.
and it should be?
500.
But you wouldn't expect this water to be safe anyway.
No, you wouldn't expect it to be safe, except it runs into the community. Community has no swimming pools. There's no swimming pools because apartheid didn't provide amenities for children. So the children come back from school and they swim in this water. Okay, so they get arsenal eczema, they get sores all over their skins because there's a lot of arsenic in there.
Yeah.
The other thing is that their DNA codes can get scrambled, and when they have babies, the babies are going to come out deformed.
In the mountainous slag heaps left behind, what they call tailings, these people say are traces of arsenic and uranium. In dry weather, it's claimed a toxic dust is blown into homes that are only a short distance away.
In August, when the wind blows, you can hardly see your hand in front of your face. Well, all over Soweto it's like that, but closer you are to the dumps, the worse it gets.
So you've got one community there, there's another one just over
It's
there.
up there. There's Meadowlands up there. There we found lots of leukemia, blood cancer. If we speak to the nurses there, they say especially amongst teenagers, in one street we found 5 or 6 kids with leukemia, all around 14, 15 years old.
How do you prove that this is what's causing that?
Well, that is what we are busy with. This is the research that we are busy doing. We're working with the University of Johannesburg. We also work with the National Institute for Occupational Health.
And with all of that, have you been able to prove it?
We are in the process of doing it. We did samples here that we took to France, and the samples here that we took to France, we took hair samples from community members, from animals, as well as samples from the dump, and we found high levels of lead, arsenic, and so on.
But my question again is, you've had it analysed, you've had it sent to France, you've got the university looking into it, and this all goes back a few years. Have you been able to prove anything to this point?
Well, we've been able to prove that these dumps are toxic and that they shouldn't have human beings living next to them.
Residents are working with a pressure group to identify any threats and recently sent flowers they'd planted to a laboratory to see if they contained poisons.
It's really hard for a sunflower to grow here because sometimes they will be this short to show that this soil is so contaminated, and they will have big heads, then they'll die. We never had a sunflower that's that big, we never. And we tried to put fertilizers and everything. We worked so hard to make the sunflower grow, but they died because of what the soil itself is toxic.
In a neighbourhood where we're told that birth defects are common, we're taken to the home of one woman whose foster daughter has cerebral palsy. She wants us to meet 13-year-old Okukle, who was abandoned on the street when she was 3 years old.
Say hi, Lily. Say hi.
Lily is looking after 2 other teenage girls. Okukle still has the body of a small child.
Kids are struggling. So I'm staying with 3. It's Bianca, Anna. Anna doesn't have parents. Her parents passed away a long time ago while she was 4. I stayed with Anna at the age of 2 years.
So Bianca, Anna and
Okukle. And you know, our government is failing us a lot because there's nothing I'm receiving from the government. It's only that 1,000 rand per child. Remember, I'm taking care of these kids for 24 hours. day and night. I'm taking care of them. And food, everything, clothing from 1,000 rand. What can we do from 1,000 rand? It's nothing. Nothing.
£45. This is just one part of Soweto, which grew out of the slums and shanty towns built by black workers between the two world wars. It's another part of South Africa, tied forever with the bloodshed and lives lost in the struggle against apartheid. The part of Soweto we now visit is very different to Snake Park. Unexpectedly, we're invited to a Zama Zama community called Zamimpilo. Here live thousands of immigrants. The filth is everywhere. Our guide is called Tiny, and she's known here. Without her, others tell us, we would have been in serious danger. We meet people from Zimbabwe, Lesotho, Malawi, and Mozambique. Seen here from above, now in close-up, one of the holes that populate the camp, in which they're searching for gold dust. Inside many of the tumble-down shacks, it's thought are illegal mine shafts, some leading to tunnels that go under main roads to the closed mines. We're told that police who patrol the area mostly want to be paid off.
They are more worried about the police taking their valuables. They are more worried about the police taking their money, and...
Can you ask them this question?
Yes.
Do they feel like slaves for the people who make all the money?
So we actually do not have, we don't know, we don't have at the same time a problem about those that are taking money, those that we call them our bosses, something like that, as long as we have something to put on the table.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. We do that and that and that and that and that and that. We see young men carrying bags of earth they've brought to the surface in the hope that they contain gold.
They live in small space, congested estate spaces.
And if they don't go down the mines and work for these syndicates, would they have any money?
Hey, it's a very big problem, if they refuse actually to go underground, then they are being killed.
They what?
They are being killed. I will put it bluntly. They are being killed.
If you refuse?
Yeah, because let me put it this way. A lot of them that you see here were trafficked. A lot of them were recruited from their countries into saying there are jobs in South Africa.
This shanty town has been home for 18 years to this man from Mozambique who earns his living selling sausages, chicken heads and chicken feet. What's this? Brother? A young woman greets her brother, who works as a Zama Zama.
Yes.
She tells us that members of her extended family are here.
Too much. Another 20-something.
All here?
Yes.
From your family?
Yes.
More than 20?
20-something.
And she says that despite the squalor, they're all better off here than in their home country.
She is saying life is very, very painful in Zimbabwe. Life is very difficult in Zimbabwe.
But life doesn't look good here.
It doesn't at all. It doesn't at all. So, ati lana ninjani ngonyana.
Yeah, lapa.
She is saying here they are much better here. They are better off than being in Zimbabwe.
Some women, we're told, have given birth as a result of being raped underground, where they're sent to provide food and comfort to the Zama Zama. Zamimpilo may be unsanitary, unsafe, and deeply unpleasant in so many ways to outsiders like us, but with families, food, and work, it is actually a thriving society. In the government offices where those overseeing the mines set the rules, the minister is vehement that attempts to end illegal mining are vital, because those involved are in a battle with the South African state itself.
Can I go back to your comments
Yes.
earlier this year
Yes,
about illegal mining being a war?
it is. It is. Let me give you Stilfontein because I think you are interested in Stilfontein. 1,500 people come out of Stilfontein. Of those people, only 21 are South Africans.
But why is it a war?
It's a war because it's neighboring countries attacking our economy. Take what is precious for our economy and steal it. That is a war on the economy.
And he tells me that the deaths of the 78 illegal miners underground near Stilfontein could put others off making the journey to South Africa.
It sends a message that tells people in the villages not to undertake a dangerous expedition, okay? And the numbers will come down, okay?
It's early morning, and police near Johannesburg in Makusi Township want to catch the Zama Zama off guard. Most of the men here run away as the raid begins.
What are you looking for here?
Explosives.
It's more like a tumble-down industrial estate than a place where people make their homes. But this is where these children will grow up.
All of this evidence in this crowded place of illegal mining. Those containers would have been used to collect the dirt, sift for the mine. The police are looking everywhere. And in the middle of this, just take a look. Over there.
Despite the mud and the mayhem, there's still a chance to thank their God for what little they have.
What they seem to have found in the box are sticks of perhaps dynamite. But they've got to get the specialist teams in here to deal with this.
Pipes called pendukas, used to sift the mud and water mixture, are emptied.
Slow.
Then destroyed.
This is one of the pits that they would dig to bring out sand and rocks that they hope contain gold. And over here we have a machine that we're told is for crushing the rocks.
This is where they are processing the sand that contains gold-bearing material. And behind us, we've disrupted this operation.
Sack after sack of what they hope is earth-containing gold. And it is actually sparkling. In the end, there are just 7 arrests. Ammunition is found. Illegal mining equipment is disabled. The police operation Vala Gwede has seen some Zama Zama deported, but many have undoubtedly returned, and those who control them have an army of desperate men and women waiting abroad to call upon. It is a fight police say they're winning by disrupting what is a business worth billions. But it is hard to see when or if that fight will ever end.